Black Ops Gulf War is going to be the best Call of Duty ever made, and I am so excited for it, and you should be even more excited than me, which is not going to be easy because I'm a Call of Duty nerd and love everything Call of Duty. And Black Ops Gulf War is bringing us so many great things that you can't help but not be excited. From the development to the campaign leaks to the massive multiplayer secrets, I'm going to show you the 9 reasons exactly why Black Ops Gulf War is the best Call of Duty ever. So stick around to the end because number 3 and number 9 are going to blow your mind. So let's talk about all of them. The first reason why I know this is going to be the best Call of Duty ever is it's a Black Ops game, and there has never been a bad Black Ops game. I dare you to think of one Black Ops game that wasn't amazing. Every single Black Ops game has been really good, and when you look back at it, the constant debate that all fans have about Call of Duty games and what the best Call of Duty game ever is comes down to is it the best game ever being Black Ops 1, is the best game ever being Modern Warfare 2, the original, or Black Ops 2. And if you notice, 2 of those games are Black Ops games, and they're considered among the greatest Call of Duties of all time. I mean, you can't help but be excited. And I mean, especially with a way that the original Black Ops had such a big twist with the numbers. And then the newest Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, went back and referenced the numbers themselves. Black Ops has been infamous and is one of the most popular Call of Duty games and most popular first-person shooter games of all time. And all of these games had amazing weapons, which I can talk about in a minute. And the second reason I know this is going to be the best Call of Duty ever is it's the second game in Call of Duty history to have 4 years of development time. The last Call of Duty game to have 4 years of development was Modern Warfare 2019, a game regarded as reviving the Call of Duty series as a whole. And that game was amazing because not only did they have Modern Warfare 2019, they also built Warzone alongside it with full compatibility. And that was a 4-year development for Call of Duty. Most Call of Duty games only ever get 3 years of development. Having an extra year means they can perfect everything and balance everything out, especially when you consider this year's game has 4 years of development and it's a Black Ops game. I don't know how you could not be excited about this. I'm so excited about it myself. Like, seriously, I can't express to you how excited I am. And also, real quick while we're on the subject, what do you think is the best game of Call of Duty history? Is it Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, or do you think it's gonna be Black Ops Gulf 4 coming out this year? But the third reason that this is going to be the best Call of Duty ever is a reason that you could not have ever predicted from a Call of Duty game in your life. It's an open world campaign. We're going to have an open world campaign in large sections and large parts of the main campaign story. So we're gonna have the first couple of missions of the game are gonna be linear, like typical Call of Duty missions we have. Go from point A to point B, killing enemies along the way, and then it's going to set you up and release you into the wild world of the first Gulf War. And you'll have a large open world map to go explore and complete missions on. From what we currently understand, it'll be 6 by 8 kilometers. Now, to put that in perspective, that's 3 times as wide as Verdansk and 4 times as tall as Verdansk, making it an extraordinarily large map with lots of different objectives and things going on. But at a certain point, you'll get to a kind of stopping point in the open world mission where you'll have to go and complete another linear mission that'll kind of set up the next part of it before going back to a new open world section to complete. It's not been stated whether this is going to be an expansion of the original open world section or another open world section entirely separate from the original. But we know that there's going to be 2 open world sections in this game. And on top of that, the game will still have a linear story ending, but there's going to be dialogue choices, so this game will have multiple endings, much like the original Black Ops 2 and Black Ops Cold War. There will be one canonical true ending, but Call of Duty will probably take a month to tell us what the true canonical ending is, but we're going to have multiple endings to complete, so it's going to allow for multiple different playthroughs, and considering that this will release a week before the rest of the game, it'll give you opportunity to play through the campaign multiple times and get all the different endings. But the fourth reason that I'm really excited about Black Ops Gulf War, and this reason is something that you probably haven't considered because you might not know about it. The first Gulf War was not a long war. It was not an extended war. It was a quick, fast, and overly chaotic war that only lasted just over 6 months. And while the fighting in the war was not extendedly long-term fighting and moving troops around, it was quick, action-packed, and trying to get as many people out of Kuwait as possible in a short period of time. And to put it in perspective for you, it was very, very violent and very chaotic. The Americans only lost 300 soldiers over the course of the first Gulf War, whereas the Iraqi army lost 30,000 people. That is just chaotic at its finest. The war was overly chaotic. As the Iraqi troops were trying to pull out of Kuwait, they started setting fire to all the oil rigs to try to burn as much as they could. The war itself was just overly chaotic, and it's a great world for an open world campaign, and for a Call of Duty game, because it's really a unique piece of history. But we know that the campaign for the game itself will actually extend all the way out into 1993, almost 2.5 to 3 years after the first Gulf War started, which is really kind of when America was making sure that everything was squared away in the Middle East and that Saddam Hussein wasn't going to go back and try to take over Kuwait a second time. They were never prepared for the advanced technology of the United States, which brings me to my 5th point. The first Gulf War was the first time advanced weapon technology that we still use today was ever used in combat. When you look at the last war the United States fought, it was in Vietnam, and you compare the technology of Vietnam to the first Gulf War, there is a shocking difference. And I mean, when you look at Vietnam, we were still using traditional World War II style bombers. In the first Gulf War, we were using the F-117 stealth bomber with laser-guided missiles that allowed for 100% accuracy, a first for bombs in any war in history. The unfortunate downside to these laser-guided smart bombs that were used in the Gulf War is that someone had to be manually on the ground holding a giant laser on the target to make sure it hit the target accurately, which unfortunately oftentimes cost the lives of the American soldiers who were lasing the target. We also used cruise missiles. Now, the problem with cruise missiles as opposed to laser-guided bombs is cruise missiles had a bigger explosive radius. So they were used to take out buildings, complexes, or electrical power facilities, so that way the enemy would have no power to any of their buildings and make it easier for night bombing. So all around, there was a lot more bombing done in this war than ever before. On top of this was the first war where night vision goggles were widely used and distributed to all of the American forces, meaning that most of the Americans had night vision goggles that they could use at any time. And on top of all of this, this war introduced a piece of technology that you have in your pocket. This was the first war that the GPS system was globally used by American forces. It was used by the US military to accurately pinpoint where squads were, allowing Americans to no longer have any cases of friendly fire, as you knew exactly where everyone on the team was, down to a 6-foot radius. The GPS system is the one we still use today, and along with this war, we had so many weapons come into use. We had M4A1s, M249s, and all those weapons became standard use for American soldiers in the first Gulf War, the weapons of which are still used by the American military to this day in mass production and mass quantities. It is still the primary weapons for the United States. But that's a conversation I need to have with you in a minute, because weapons there's a handful of weapons that we need to talk about. The 6th reason why I know this is going to be the best Call of Duty game ever is it's introducing a brand new movement system built entirely from the ground up. It's a completely new movement system built on the same engines as Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, but considering it was built from the ground up, it means that they're going to be a unique and new movement style for this game. It'll feel similar to Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, but will be unique and individual to Black Ops Gulf War. And that brings me to the next point. What better way to use the brand new movement system than on some of the classic and fan favorite Black Ops maps of all time? We know there's gonna be a ton of Black Ops maps returning and a couple fan favorites, but that's a video that I'll talk about here in the next couple days, talking about the specifics of the multiplayer, but a bunch of fan favorite maps are returning. Maps from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 4 are all coming back, and new kind of reiterated versions, as well as possibly a map from Black Ops Declassified, a game that not a lot of people actually played, but had huge story implications for the Black Ops series. And speaking of maps, we're actually going to be getting a ton of new zombies maps with this brand new year of Black Ops Gulf War. We know there's currently 4 maps that are going to be expected to launch at release, and we're expected to have 6 to 8 by the end of the first season, with 16 total maps expected by the end of the year of support for Black Ops Gulf War, which is significantly more than any Call of Duty game that we've had in years. The last game to have this many Call of Duty Zombies maps was Black Ops 3, which is widely considered to be one of, if not the best game for Call of Duty Zombies in any Call of Duty game ever. But in my opinion, the reason this is going to be one of the most exciting Call of Duty games ever made, and one of the best, comes down to this very one simple thing. At launch of the game, we will have 53 weapons for the multiplayer. Now that is a big number, but let me put it in perspective. Modern Warfare 2019 only launched with 36. Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3's weapons totally combined at this current point only add up to be 52, meaning that Black Ops Gulf War will have more weapons at launch than Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 combined. That is a significant number, and 53 weapons will also include some weapons that have never before been included in a Call of Duty series. Weapons like the AR-10, which was a hard-hitting and powerful assault rifle based on the M4 model, as well as having a brand new melee weapon that you probably weren't expecting. The Huli tool, which we saw Captain Price use in Modern Warfare 2019 to break open doors, is going to be a melee weapon that you can clobber people with. I mean, this thing is basically like a handheld mace. Getting hit in the head with this, I don't think you're gonna think straight or walk straight ever again. But there is so much coming to multiplayer alone. I can't wait to tell you about everything, and so make sure to subscribe down below because I'm gonna have a brand new video talking about the multiplayer coming out probably within the next day or so. So make sure to subscribe for all of the multiplayer information. Until next time, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.